Joined in the studio by Mike Johnson and Dave Poulin. All right, guys, you heard what Ryan is suggesting. We could see a change with Peter Chiarelli at the GM sooner, potentially, rather than later. What do you guys think of that?
Well, if you're going to make a change, then sooner is preferable. Like, now is preferable. Because if you don't believe that Peter Chiarelli is the guy to take you all the way through the trade deadline and into the summer, then change that position now and get someone who you trust and want to empower to do those, whatever decisions are going to be coming up. If you don't want to make that change, if you believe Peter Chiarelli will take it to the trade deadline, then there's no rush at all. Let him get through there. If you trust him to do the job, then he'll do it and you can take him into the summer. But if you don't, then he's got to go now.
Well, you've taken the other steps. You've eliminated your #1 overall pick in Taylor Hall. You've traded some other big pieces like Jordan Eberle. You've fired the coach. So you've made the other steps, short of moving other guys out of that locker room. If he isn't the guy, I agree with you. If he isn't the guy, you're not going to let him go into the trade deadline right now.
Connor McDavid's comments. You heard what he had to say coming out of that team meeting earlier today. You guys have been in the rooms before. When you hear somebody say something like that, what does that tell you about the room?
It's not the right mix of people in the room, not the right mix of players, not the right mix of guys. And you can see he's biting his lip when he says that, because he's the guy that has to go out every day and speak to it. A lot of those guys don't have to speak every single day to the press, every single game that they lose. They're not the first one the press gathers around. And you can see he's not, almost the way he says it, like, it's not in his belief that someone wouldn't believe in the group. But if that's the case, stand up and be counted now and make a move, because I'm tired of standing up here and defending everybody.
Now, Poole, you said two different words there. You said not the right players, not the right guys. Those are two different things.
They are very, very different.
And which one is it there?
Yes.
That means both. You
Yes.
believe it's both. So it's not just the wrong mix of players, because
Yes.
that's significant. A lot of teams don't have enough talent, but they find a way to overachieve and get things done. You will not have that happen unless you have everyone buying in together and have the right group of guys, even if you don't have the perfect mix of players. So if you think it's that, then that's an issue. But just, you can tell by the demeanor, the tone of the questions, the answers, the body language, the energy coming out of that scrum. It's a very stressful, tumultuous time right now.
When a team is rolling along, MJ, you know, you don't hear these things. You don't hear. I mean, what are the buzzwords? Good chemistry. Everything's rolling along good. Yeah. Guys really like each other. You just don't hear those things out of that locker room, and it's hard to when you're not winning.
Yeah, but you can get by not really liking each other when you win. It's when you lose and don't really like each other.
Winning solves a lot.
Then it gets ugly.
In the midst of all of this, it looks like the Oilers are signing Mikko Koskinen to an extension, 3 years, $4.5 million AVV. I guess I'm not incredibly surprised by this.
I'm a little surprised.
I'm just surprised by the timing of this.
Well, two things. We just talked about whether Peter Chiarelli is the guy to take you forward. Well, he's presumably the GM signing this goaltender to an extension, and he's going to be 31 when it starts. He's got 27 games this year, 31 games in his career with a career .905 save percentage. Yes, he's been good so far this year. He's been a more than adequate upgrade or backup. But where's the rush to commit to this guy now?
Well, the significance of it is you've just made him the starting goalie. Because Cam Talbot is a UFA.
But why do you got to do this now?
You've just decided who your starting goalie is because you want to create a market to move Cam Talbot. It would be the reason, I would guess. But you've just made this 31-year-old your starting goalie for the next 3 years.
With that public declaration, wouldn't you then not be compressing the market for Cam Talbot? Everyone knows you got to trade him because he's not coming back there because you just gave the other guy $4.5 million a year. So if you want to make that decision, and I'm cool with you making that decision, that's fine. I'm thinking I don't sign the extension until I trade Cam Talbot. Make it seem like it's a who knows what's going to happen around the league. And then when Cam Talbot goes, then you sign the extension if you believe in Koskinen. After 27 games, 31 years old, .911 save percentage. He may be great. I'm not saying I know. I'd rather just have the rest of the year play out and sign him in April.
Yeah.
No,
why not sign him in April?
By the way, Darren Dreger says this did not blindside Cam Talbot. They actually told Talbot that this news was going to come out. And
so he wants out.
And he believes at this point Talbot be willing to be traded to anywhere at this point.